Black Widow time. So we're gonna work on this 57 Chevy. Currently a 4-door sedan, it's gonna be a 2-door post right away here. So I've had this thing for, I don't know, 6 or 8 months. I know a lot of you guys are chomping at the bit, you want me to get working on it, and you know what, I'm done with the wagon, I'm taking a break from it, and I want to get all over this thing. So obviously, for it to be a Black Widow, it needs to be a 2-door 150, which it's not, and it needs white wheels, which I sent for powder coating 2 weeks ago and I haven't got back yet. So hopefully that'll be maybe on tomorrow's docket. We gotta get the look. Anyways, I want a 2-door this thing. I've done it a few times, and I'm gonna do it a kind of a different situation this way. I have a mint set of doors I want to put on this thing, which I will do, but it is possible to make a 4-door into a 2-door with no donor parts. And that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to tack it all together and just kind of show you in the next, it's already probably 7 o'clock, don't forget it done tonight, maybe today and tomorrow. Just to show you it can be possible. If you're on like an absolute shoestring budget, we'll make that happen. Now, I shouldn't say no donor parts, no 2-door donor parts. We're going to end up using, this is another 4-door door, and we're going to lengthen that door with this door. So, I mean, I'm sure I've said it before a million times. If you happen to be new here, Tri-5 Chevys, 567s, post cars are the exact same wheelbase. They have the same roof line. They have the same fenders. They have the same everything in the back. The only difference that happens is between here and here in the car. And really, it's just where the post is. So in a 2-door, the post is back 6.5 inches. This is then quarter panel with your window, and you have a 2-door door up front. So this door here, we'll just kind of give it an eyeball, is like 39.5 under the handle, and this is 46. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take both doors off, we're gonna slice the post out, we'll move it back, but we're gonna make this door into that length by cutting it, I'm probably going to cut it right down there, straight line. Take this section off, take the opposite 6 inches out, put it together, and weld it. I'm just going to tack it in. It's not going to look pretty. This door here is it's actually a pretty rust-free door, but it's ratty. There's nothing in it, so it's easy to move around. I use this door just as a test bit door, because when you have a door that's fully dressed with door panels and glass and all that, it's a lot to kind of manhandle around. So we're going to use this door as our template to make these 2 doors a 2-door. So you can basically make a 2-door Tri-5 Chevy without any real 2-door donor stuff. I'm just going to do that for this video. I'm going to use the proper 2-door doors because this is my car and I want it to be nice. Not saying you can't make it nice, but it's just a bit of a hassle. The front vent windows are the same, 2 doors and 4 doors, so there's no worries there. The only thing will be the glass. So you can screw around with the existing track and all that mechanism. It is just flat glass. You can actually get it cut. You don't got to track down special Tri-5 glass. So if you have a template, you can cut it out with cardboard and bring it in. The guy will just cut it for you and you can make it happen. So this is just, this is where labor takes over. So if you're labor rich and money poor, I mean, these doors, I've been trying to sell doors. These are the original doors off my 2-door, the white car, or the gray car, the 55. I've got a set of doors off this. I had a set of doors off Danny's car. I had a spare set of doors. I got 4-door doors. I tried selling them. I couldn't. I dropped 4 off for scrap. They're worth nothing. Like, don't pay more than $20 a door, as far as I'm concerned, at least where I am. Because same thing, I'm going to end up with 4 more doors. Nightmare. So that's what we're going to get working on. So step 1, I'll set the tripod up. I'm going to strip both these doors off, and then I'll bring it back. I literally cut this post out. A lot of guys, I'll show you, they drill out all the spot welds. I did that on the 55. It was way too much work. So zip cut it out. This thing will be driver's side doorless in half an hour.
Are you going to show us your new belt buckle? Ooh.
So the doors are off. Still smoking even. So I have one little problem here at the front door. I always just torch and stuff again. I'm not really using this stuff. This is just for demonstration purposes. The hinges, those are staying. You can take out either 3 bolts here, or there's top, bottom, and there's 2 in there. You can take the whole unit out. I just did it this way. It worked out fine. And I just heat everything up with a torch just so it has a chance of coming out. I did break a few bolts, but it's pretty much irrelevant in the back here for what we're doing. It's still hot. Anyways, now here is what we got to do. I pulled off the sill plates that are pretty much rotted. But you can see right here, it has this little lip. It runs the whole way down, front and back. That is what the post is going to join to, so I'm going to cut it there, across, on the back. This piece here, we're going to want to save this. This will give us a nice contour to the door, which we're not going to have. And then same at the top, you can see this little seam, and across there, and across the back. Now this is where the 4-door post is different than the 2-door post. It has this little kind of trim type piece, and you can see on a 2-door, the door is flat, it doesn't have it. I'll show you on this door. And a 4-door door has a little jut out for it. So you either got to fill in the door, which we're not going to do because we're using the other doors, but you would have to do that if you want it to look good. Or people have left that, I've seen it lots, and you just put the post back in and you have this. So it has a 4-door post, even though the door's been lengthened. So whatever you want to do. I'm going to zip this right off and fill it, because that's how a proper 2-door would be, and we're going for style points. So I'll get this post zipped out real quick, and then we'll start lengthening this door. You guys panicked yet? So, this is how I do it. Right, wrong, or otherwise. I find it easier just to cut it right out, like I said. And then I go in after the fact, and I just scoop out this, grind out this piece. You can see it's double thick. Top and bottom. Get that all out. For the rocker, I don't really give a crap about, because in this box, I have 2 new rockers. Show you. There's one right there. So I got a pair of new rockers, which will go 2-door rockers, which go right from the front to basically where the post is going to be, so right about there. That piece I will have to fix by hand. Yeah, because that'll be the lower quarter section. So that's what we got going on. I'm just going to fit the door and the post where I want it, because we're going to, and after we're going to change the rockers. And we're going to put a full floor in this thing. But for the purpose of this video, we're just going to make it look like a 2-door. I probably should clean some of the junk out of here. Wow, this thing is gross. Maybe I'll vacuum it real quick. I'm going to vacuum it, and then we'll come back and we'll start chopping up these doors. Okay, so we got the door on the stand. Now this is where it's going to be, I don't know, a little bit of make-em-ups. So I just did kind of a straight line that I'm going to follow. I measured it's like 8.5 or something like that. It's kind of irrelevant. We're going to do a straight line here, straight line at the top. We'll then mirror it on the bottom as much as possible, or on the back side I should say. I actually might just overlap the inner structure just because no one's ever going to see it. This is just kind of a test door. If you're doing this for your own car, you might do a better job than I'm going to do. I'm just doing it because I've never done it before and I want to see if it's possible. So we'll cut this section out, and then we'll put the other door on the table, and essentially we're going to take this and then we're going to add 6 inches or 6.5, wherever it is. So we'll be cutting it kind of there. We'll take that section, weld it to this section, and we'll have a door. Now, this is where, if it's not perfect, it doesn't really matter, because you'll be close, and let's be honest, you're chopping up a 4-door, making it into a 2-door anyways. It ain't going to Pebble Beach. So if the door is a 1/2 inch, you know, shorter, longer, whatever it may be, it doesn't really matter, because you're going to put it on the car, then you're going to fit the post to the door, and then you can kind of carry on. And there's a lot of fudge factor, especially if you're cutting your own glass and doing those sort of things. No one's going to know, as far as I'm concerned. So we'll chop this up, try not to smash the glass, and then we'll get on the other door. So that's what we got going on. We've chopped that piece off. Now we're gonna add in the 6 1/4, whatever it is, inches. So we're gonna cut on this side of the tape line and right there, and we'll take this section and we'll to that section. Actually, you know what? I cut right through the window regulator on this one out of laziness, but if you took it all apart, you could just use the existing window regulator, extend it, and it would work just fine. It's really not that big of a deal. The inside, like I said, I did a pretty rough cut because, well, this door is just an example. But unfortunately, I only have 10% left on the battery on the GoPro. So I'm going to cut this all out with the GoPro charges, and then we'll start tacking them together. So here's what we're left with. So we're just butted up there. It's kind of close-ish, but we're 46 1/4. And if we go on this side to this door, same about spot, where 46 1/4. So the doors are, we'll say, within 1/8, which is pretty good. And these have a bit of a gap anyway, so I got to kind of clean it up. But I'm going to lay these down on the ground. I'm just going to clean the edges up, and I'm literally just going to give them a couple of ugly tack welds together, just so they're a little bit sturdy, and then we'll hang our brand new 2-door door. Sure, you have an endless supply of 2-door Chevy doors for very cheap. I was going to do this at because 2-door tri-5 doors are hard to find. I think these green ones that are shit, I paid $200 for, and we fluked out Danny's doors, and I got another set I fluked out for $150. But I see 2-door doors for sale all the time for $400, $500, $600 on the internet, which I think is just crazy. So I mean, for an evening's worth of work, you can make your own. But again, my battery is not charging, so it's also hot out. I think I might go plug it into something else and cool off a little bit. Then we'll come back out and we'll start assembling a door. Pretty good, eh? Oh, and garnish moldings. You could do the same thing. So obviously, let's go on the inside. You could get another setup 4-door, slice it, lengthen it, and you're golden. Because these are expensive for 2 doors, especially the back ones. Now I'm done.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Okay, so we got her kind of together. As together as she's going to be. I just put one quick tackle at the top to kind of hold it. There shouldn't be a whole lot of issues getting her together. My only concern is going to be, is the door going to be like kind of straight or true or whatever. So be a little bit of kind of monkeying around. It shouldn't be too bad. So let's see if we can get her together. So there's the old girl. So it's hard to tell, I guess it's sitting on top, but it's about the same. So I'm going to take that as a bit of a win. Doesn't look too... Looks pretty straight, eh? This is where putting a bunch of heat in it will mangle it up pretty good. We got some gaps, a little gappy. I either overcut or undermeasured down there a little bit, but hey, you can fill that all in. So anyways, now what we're going to do, we're going to hang this door right back on the hinges. We're going to close it. Hopefully it'll fit nicely between the roof and the sill. And then once we're happy with that, we're going to test it in our post. It's just that easy. Right. So the door is on. Just with 2 bolts in it. It's not very well aligned, and we're not going to align it too much, but it closes. It works. So the next thing we're going to do, it's actually nice, it's sun's going out, so it's a little cooler. We're just going to get this door post in. Now what I've done in the past is I've actually latched the door to the post with the door kind of off, and then you know exactly where it wants to be. Now this being a different door, we'll see. Oh yeah, there we go.
That's pretty clever.
So now obviously we'll have to kind of jam with a pair of vice grips forever, but you can set your door gap pretty close to whatever you want. Go from there. Now this piece that sticks out, that's what we're going to use to weld the rest of the sheet metal to. Yeah. So there you go. Make your own 2-door. So I'll hammer this into place. You might have to kind of trim a little bit here and there or whatever. I want to try and keep this as much meat on it as possible. Again, this is just kind of an experiment for this video. And then on the next one, I'll have the proper door on there. I'll really do some messing around. So I'll just get this slammed and kind of tacked into place real quick. And then we'll work on pulling out the glass, which is pretty simple. It's just a little bit of garnish molding. Pop that out. Then you literally just follow the kind of curvature. Zip it there and zip it there. And then we'll start skinning that back door. Because we're actually going to take all the structure off of it. Just use the quarter skin and we'll weld it on real quick. Again, I might leave it a little long just so I have lots of material to work with depending what the other door kind of looks like if this is a little short. And it'll be a 2-door in like an evening. See how much more I keep going tonight. It's getting kind of late. I'm a little tired, but yeah. Easy. Well, door's on. I started skinning this one, so it's basically just the outer shell, which we'll get to in a minute. I got this back glass out, which is very simple. It just has a couple little hole ends, which is no big deal. We got the door on. The post is just kind of tack welded in, but obviously the gaps are all mangled, but it is a 2-door. Now here is where it gets a little tricky, and I don't know how much I'm going to screw around with. I had to take the bottom piece of trim off right there, because on the 2-door, this little piece of the spear is actually on the door. So, and obviously we're going to section that out. So, step 1, we got to cut this bit of structure out right there and there. Same with the back. Just kind of follow the lines. And as you can see, we're going to kind of gently place the door in, something along like that, and we're going to end up welding it in. Now, the problem is, the 6 inches we added to the door, we have to take out of the back door. So this is where I'm probably going to leave it long, because I'm not 100% on this just yet. But, anyway, if we're going to get Sawzall out, we'll zip that, and that. Then we'll do a quick measurement. Maybe we'll take like 5 inches off. We'll cut her straight down and go. Because in this situation, this little whoop-de-doo right there is going to be correct. So you can actually just almost latch the door if you wanted to or whatever. But that is how we're going to make a 2-door. It's getting late, but I want to keep giving her. I'd like to get it just all kind of pieced together. Like I said, leave it a little long. We can always add to that down the road. And I'm hoping tomorrow, I'm going to go bug the guy. I'd like to put the white wheels on, because that would look cool on the one side. See, it's all possible. For next to no money. And just, oh man, am I dirty. But, like, we got $0 in this. We got 1 extra door. And we're going to have a 2-door. Or a 3-door, whatever. Everyone always says leave it a 3-door. I think I look stupid, but we'll get her done tonight, hopefully. Well, it's kind of a two-door. Like I said, this panel's quite long. Now what I've done in the past is kind of trim it, and you'll weld it up to the little leading edge. Now this is the next fiasco that I'm gonna cut this little bump off, because again, I'm not gonna use that when I do my car. On the four-door, like, it has a little jet out. What I did on the other two-door conversions is you cut that flush and you just move this panel up a little so you get that kind of look. Now obviously, this being the top of the door, we have all this structure which would fit in this piece, so we got to cut all that out. We're basically just going to turn it into a skin, just this piece there. And it does a couple of goofy things because it's not quite the right dimension, because it has this, well, would have had this post. So you got to kind of split it, and I think I ended up putting a few slots in it just to kind of conform. And the other thing is, I mean, it is actually a couple of pieces. I just weld it right in there, shmoo a little bit of fiberglass in there, and it's golden. But I'm going to get this trimmed. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm tired and hot. And I'll get it just kind of tacked into place. So it's not going to be perfect. I mean, at a distance, it'll look how it's going to look. I'll get it cleaned up in here. Maybe just fog these wheels white even, but get this jack out of the way. But there you go. I started at 7 o'clock. It's about 11. So within a few hours, you have the rough shape of a 57 Chevy two-door. Real rough. But it's possible for not a lot of money. No money, actually. And if you got lots of time on your hands, I mean, you can straighten that out, make it, like, spend your time on the cuts, weld real slow so you don't, you know, mangle any of the sheet metal, get it all crooked, and then bodywork it, and no one's gonna know. I'm gonna paint match the door, obviously, the other door. This, I want to try and keep as much of it original as I can, and just kind of paint in some bits here, because that's all original paint. And obviously there's no structure whatsoever on the inside. That's where I smashed everything here. It's a nightmare. But that's where the rest of the structure for the door comes in. You slice it up and you put it in there, and you'll just kind of weld it front and back from the pillar to where the door striker would be, and then there you go. I mean, let's be honest, the quarter panel is just a skin anyways. It's all the inner structure. It gives you the safety. In the top here, once it's in, you slice that down. You just kind of roll over a piece of metal or do whatever you're going to do, and lots of little touch-ups. That's where it gets time-consuming, all little bits, especially on this car. On Danny's car, you know, the Bel Airs have trim that goes all the way around there, it hides all that stuff. If you're just going to leave it painted like a 150, like my 55 out there, there was a lot of screwing around and, you know, paint matching and all that. But that's what I'm leaving for tonight. We'll be back at it tomorrow and finish her up. Alright, so it's the next day. I changed wheels and tires so I feel motivated. Now if you squint your eyes real tight there, it kind of looks just like a Black Widow, as far as I'm concerned. Now, this is where I'm going to leave it. I pulled out my good door over there, laying in the pile. So I got two of those. That's what's going to replace this door that I've made. It doesn't have any glass, well, it's just in the window. I gotta source one out. I kind of think I want to get tinted glass. We'll see. But I just did this to show it can be done with literally no money spent, basically. So I mean, this door is rough, but it can be absolutely fixed and made to work. This I left long. It'd be very easy to zip cut this down, but you just trace it on the backside, zip it, weld it on, and it'd be fine. But I'm not too sure exactly where the post and all that is going to end up with the other door. It might be a 1/4 inch or so out, so I didn't want to chop this up because, as you guys know, it's easy to cut, but it's harder to put back together. And I want to try and keep it kind of original paint-ish as much as I can. And then we have the back piece here. I don't know where to put it. This section here, which again will need to be trimmed down, and this piece has to be blended on there, so it'll fit kind of nice, just like that. So it's a pretty simple setup. As far as I'm concerned, this is absolutely a way to do it. I do think the way I'm going to do it with the other door is the best bang for your buck for time and money. A set of doors, I mean, if you pay up a little bit, you can get a good set. You can put them on, and you know where your post is going to be, then you can just fill in the quarter panel. This is just a lot more time. Ultimately, I guess it would be about the same, but you do a lot of screwing around on the inside with window regulators and whatnot. So that's where I'm leaving that. I'm actually immediately going to start, I'm going to take this all apart, take the post out, and it's just tacked together. I haven't cleaned this thing yet. So I want to clean it all out, blow all the rat turds out, hose it all down so I'm not working in absolute filth. And we'll back it right in, and I'm going to start doing it, the next video we'll be hanging that door and actually putting this on properly. I don't know, I might do the rockers and the lower fender extension as well, just so the car is all bolted together and it's all straight, so you make it look all good now. Then we'll have a baseline, because I will take the fenders and the hood and all that off, because we got to put a floor in it. So at least this will, I know it fit once, so it should fit again. That's where I'm leaving it. There you go. 4-door, 2-door in one night on one side with no money spent. You can't go wrong. Alright, see you in the next video.